Okay, so welcome to this first video for the online classes. Okay, so looking at the timetable, the first thing we're going to start with is C++ programming. So we'll start talking about the installation on Windows. So using Microsoft Visual Studio Code and MinGW. So how are we going to install Microsoft Visual Studio Code and MinGW, and also how we are going to install code blocks. Okay, so uh, so this is the class link which will be provided during the anticipated time. So people with access who access all these tutorial videos, including the class materials and so on. Okay, so the first thing you'd like to do is to search for Microsoft Visual Studio Code on your browser. Then you're going to open this link for Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, so once you open that link, you're going to see the download button, so you can just click on download. So once this setup is done downloading, you just make sure you keep track of where the download has been stored, usually in the download folder if you're using Windows. So next up, you need to search for MinGW. So Visual Studio Code will be used to write codes, our source codes. Then MinGW is the compiler for C++ programming that will be used together with Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So just search for MinGW, and then this link which has SourceForge, click on that. That's where we'll download our compiler. Okay, so this is our compiler. So you can just click on download, and once you download this MinGW, now you follow this next step on how to install and make sure that everything is successfully running. Okay, so if you have installed Microsoft Visual Studio, once you install it, for this one it's not really that hard to install. You just follow up the setups which we are given. You click on this Microsoft Visual Studio setup which you have already gotten. Then you just say next until you accept. So you're going to have a setup which looks like this once you download your Microsoft Visual Studio. So in Microsoft Visual Studio, you need to click here which says extensions. So under Microsoft Visual Studio, you need to search for an extension which is C++, this which is written C/C++. So inside Microsoft Visual Studio, make sure that you search for C++ extension under the extension tab. Then you need to make sure that you install. So it's written uninstall because I've already installed it. So once you install this extension, you can close your Microsoft Visual Studio or minimize it. Then you need to make sure that you have installed MinGW. So for me, as you can see, MinGW has already been installed. No wonder it's written saying open learn administrator what. So once you install this MinGW, what you need to do is that you need to go to the folder. Where that MinGW is located. So for me, the MinGW, my download, it's under applications, then cybersecurity. So under cybersecurity we have programming. Then as you can see, this is the MinGW setup. So once you install this MinGW setup and this Microsoft Visual Studio Code, you need to locate the MinGW file or folder. So what you can do is to go to your C drive, then under program files, if yours would be located under program files, locate MinGW. But for me, you can see a folder has been created called MinGW. I'll click on this folder, then you need to go where it says bin. So inside the bin, you need to come here now, uh, just on top. Then here you can copy this path. So once you copy this path which is selected, once you copy it, you can minimize this or close it if you want. Then under the search tab, you can search for environmental variables. So I'll just say environment, or you can go to your settings to do that. So let's just use the settings. So we can go to the settings like this. So under the settings, there is a search tab. Now you just say environmental, yeah, environmental variables. So once environmental variables shows or pops up, you need to click on that. Then you click again where it's written environmental variables. So now under environmental variables, remember we have copied the path for MinGW, which was that. So you need to click on path, then you say edit. So as you can see, MinGW path for me has already been added. So what you can do for you, if it's your first time adding it, you can simply click on new, then you add that particular path like that by pasting the path which you copied from this folder, which had the MinGW path under the bin folder. So once you do that, you can just click on OK. It means our configurations have been done for MinGW, and the next thing you can do to confirm if MinGW is truly working, you can simply open your terminal. You can simply open your terminal. So here you can just open up your terminal, and then you can simply write G plus plus dash dash version. So G plus plus dash dash version will help you know if your MinGW has been installed and configured successfully. So if you don't see any error but you see something which is saying g++.exe whatsoever, it means your MinGW has been officially configured. So another way to confirm, you can just use your Microsoft Visual Studio, then you click here, then go for terminal, then you say new terminal. Then under this terminal, you can simply say g++ dash dash version, the same thing we did. So again, as you can see, it shows that the MinGW, which is the compiler for C++, in this case for Windows, has been successfully installed and configured. So with these few things we've talked about, it means for Windows we are done setting up source code source code application, which is Microsoft Visual Studio, and MinGW, which is our compiler. Okay, so in a case you are using a Linux distribution system, in my case is Parrot OS, you can simply locate or find where VS Codium is. So once you click on this VS Codium, you can use this to write your C++ programs. So in this case, let me just get rid of this. So in this case, you can just click on terminal, then you say new terminal. Then as you can see down here, for this VS Codium, which is for a Linux distribution, you don't need to like download Microsoft Visual Studio, MinGW, and so on. You can just use this VS Codium. You say G++, then dash dash version to check if everything is okay. So as you can see, everything is just neat. so it's ready to use if you are using this distribution which is for Linux. So if you're using Kali or PaloTOS, you are good to go. No need to follow the first steps which I've already talked about. Okay, so up next, let's now talk about code blocks. So on Google, you can just simply search for code blocks. Then this link which will pop up, you can just click on that link which is for code blocks. But I don't recommend you using this. You can use SourceForge for you to download your code blocks. As you can see with the second link, you can click on code block and then you hit download. So this is the simplest to download, like you don't need a lot of configurations. Once you download this successfully, you just need to install it, then accept the terms and conditions. Once you are done installing it, it has a provision to open a C++ for you to code your C++ programs, and it also provides the compiler with your already existing command prompt or terminal to execute whatever you have programmed. So this is the tutorial video about the installations of the things needed for our classes, which is KMU CYS online classes for 2024 to 2025. So once everything is set, you've installed your tools and you have everything we need, we are good to go. So thank you for watching. Hope you understood the installations process. And sorry I wasn't installing everything because of time when I was just talking, but during the online classes we'll make sure that everyone understand. This is just for the purpose in case you have missed something. So thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, follow my other YouTube channel which is Soko James. It's linked on this same tutorial channel for KMU. So you can follow my personal channel and make sure that you follow along all the coming things. So as you can see, tutors, we have Soko James, so that's me. You can subscribe to this channel too to see other things which we do post. Okay, so thank you for watching. My name is Soko James, representing KMU Cybersecurity Tutorials. See you in the next video where we are going to talk about the introduction, writing a program, and understanding the basics of C++. Thank you.